All right. Oh my goodness, brothers and sisters, we're here with another podcast with a really good dear brother, friend, colleague, Ethan Morley. Dude, thanks for coming on.
I'm really
You
glad
came
to be
all
here.
the way from Kansas City just for this podcast, I hear.
Yeah, I actually had some frequent flyer miles. Figured I could use them up and get out here. It was a good time.
Fly first class?
No, I was about
Oh,
15 miles short, unfortunately.
Dude, you should have purchased some miles.
I should have.
We should have just hooked you up for being a guest, right?
That would've been
Got you a
sweet.
first
Yeah,
class
that's
ticket
actually
out
our
here,
bad.
but-
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah.
You know, I was wondering if they had like something like you could do on Clash of Clans, just buy coin. You know, just like buy certain miles.
Buy
like,
miles.
1,000 miles, $50. You know.
Dude, what if like the more wins you got on Clash of Clans, the more miles you got? Like, what if
That
like
is not a bad idea, actually.
Clash of Clans and like Amex or like MasterCard or one of these just like teamed up? So why is no one doing that for real? Why is no one like putting like get these games? Everyone games,
I'm trying to think how that would work. Because in reality, I have like the Delta card.
right?
And so I'm just using that on everything I can
Right.
just to rack up some miles.
Mm-hmm.
But if I could use that in like a video game,
Yeah, dude.
that actually might not be a bad
Dude,
idea.
maybe hit up like American Express or something.
That's not a bad idea.
Talk
That or, I mean, I saw that like Apple's doing some new credit thing where you
Okay.
can do all sorts of credit. I have no idea, but
Or American Express only doesn't really work outside the U.S. though. It's kind of gay.
yeah.
Wait, isn't like American Express the Delta card, or who does the Delta
I
card?
think it.
Delta card is Yep, American Express.
You
So I
think
have
like
one of those.
You think an airline card would be able to go like anywhere in the world?
Because I think it's like high taxed, so
Mm.
like all the other countries don't like it. They don't want to accept it.
Yeah.
It's like
Don't
everywhere
know a whole lot
I've
about
been.
it besides that it works when
When you swipe it,
I swipe it.
they give you something
Occasionally, someone will say I don't take Amex, which is always a bummer, and I feel like I kind of judge the person when I'm like, oh, you're just not in a point in your life right now where you can handle this amount of risk.
back. You want to kick them in the jugular if they don't accept
Jugular, side of the body,
intestines.
couple combos. Yep.
Anything you can.
100%.
I get it, dude. There's nothing like, or like Costco doesn't accept like one of the major cards. Is it MasterCard they don't accept, or Visa, or
Might be like a Discover. I feel like a lot
it
of
might?
people-
Oh, I think it is Discovery
think a lot of
card.
people don't
I'm like, dude, you guys are
accept
freaking Costco. You guys are pretty much Bill Gates.
they run
in
the
store.
planet right now.
That's
Yeah,
why
dude.
everyone needs to go on Bitcoin.
Yeah,
So
I agree. That could be
Yeah.
a thing.
I got a book from not my brother-in-law, my father-in-law called "Thank God for Bitcoin," and and I started reading it, and it's good. Like they were bringing up like scriptures and Bitcoin, how like in the Bible it talked about these times and how Bitcoin would like pretty much bring us out of this financial crisis or whatever. I mean, I read maybe the
That's
first.
some deep doctor.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm ready.
No, it's deep. So I think God wasn't ready for me to read it because I was read the first 5 pages and I left it in my truck and like the glue in the glue in the book of the spine melted and the book fell apart. And so I don't know if that's God saying like, dude, this is bullshit, dog, or like he's just like, you ain't ready, dude. You ain't that
Dude,
level
it's
yet.
like in the scripture words, the book will be bound.
Yeah.
Like, in the last days, the sealed book, you can be able to read it.
Right. Well, this thing came.
That's the
unbound,
opposite.
dog. It came apart. It just fell apart.
Maybe that means that you were that ready to read it. It was like
Maybe
the
it's like-
opposite of being bound. It was just unleashed upon you. That
God's like,
could've
you already
just-
know, dude. You don't need this.
Or maybe you just didn't think you were ready for it.
That's what I'm thinking. I think that's
Yeah,
what
that's
God-
probably the more accurate thing. I like to think I'm an intelligent person
Yeah. Okay.
for the most part.
You seem like one.
You seem like it.
And I appreciate that. But I tried to. The other day I was sitting there. My grandpa. We have like a bunch of books from his life because he recently passed away, and so we have like his whole library, and he has some very intelligent books in there.
Okay.
And I'll like look at them. It's like Taoism, all sorts of stuff.
Okay.
And I saw a book from T.S. Eliot, and I was like, I'm an intellectual. I can read this.
Yeah.
So I grab it and I scroll and, dude, I can't get through 3 sentences before I'm so lost. I'm like looking up online, what did he mean by I am an old man? Like, just like I was like, what does this even mean right now? And so I relate to that.
That's pretty cool.
Dude, yeah, I want to be an intellectual, but it doesn't work out just yet. Eventually I will hopefully understand
Dude,
some of those readings.
That's what I'm trying, like, especially with this, like, I'm like, oh, I need to be more articulate, like, be able to speak better. So I've been listening to, like, Ben Shapiro. Like, Ben Shapiro talks really well. I'm like, maybe that will help. Or I just downloaded, like, a word a day app.
Okay.
So, like, send me a new word each day and, like, expand the vocabulary. But haven't been going very well. Still not quite where
I did that
we
for a
want to
little
be
bit. I did that for a little bit, trying to like learn a word and then somehow incorporate it into my daily life. It worked for a little bit, and then it was just like, that's 10 words I'm trying to add this week. You know?
Dude, words are
They come
hard.
up.
I know, like, while I'm, like, speaking in a conversation, I think to the back of my head, I'm like, I'm so freaking articulate. Like, I'm so smart. I'm saying some awesome things. And then I go listen to the podcast, and I'm like, holy cow.
Oh.
It's like I've never even been to school. I mean, it's terrible. And so it's really, having a podcast where you, like, listen to yourself, it's really revealing. It really is.
100%.
It's like,
crazy.
Oh, my gosh. But you speak Spanish, don't you?
Uh-huh.
Spanish speaker, English speaker, so you know your way around the words.
Yeah, I didn't learn. Dude, it's actually embarrassing. I was like in Mexico with my book, like trying to teach me, and I'm like, it's like, here's the conjugation of this word, and I'm like reading it, and I'm like, the frick is a verb. I can't. I'm like,
A preposition. What the
I'm like,
frick?
it's like, what the frick? It's like, you gotta change the last, the AR goes here, and I'm like, first off, I barely understand what an adjective is. I need to go back to basic English before trying to do this.
I know.
Because like you just learn English. I mean, for the most part, in school. I mean, yeah, they tell you what the words are, but you just learn it by speaking it. And so, like living in Mexico, that's mostly how I learned Spanish. Was this word goes here, this word goes here. But then once you start studying, like, the breakdown of languages,
It starts making sense.
Super cool.
It is.
I'm a fanatic about it now, but at the very beginning, I was like, oh, this is going to be tougher than I thought.
Right. Yeah, dude.
It's crazy.
That's how I am too. Like languages, I think they're so cool. Like you
So
can like
cool.
Like, for example, I think the English language, because I speak Portuguese, and I speak a little bit of Spanish, but I think that, like, the history of the English language is incredible. Like, if you look into the English language, it's actually super cool. It's literally the mix. It's like if language was a mixing pot, it's English, right? Because it's like
So cool.
English comes from England, obviously, but like you have so much French influence from the French. You have influence from Germanic tribes. You have influence from the Celts. You have all this different influence on English to what you have today, and it's super cool. Like, you can just trace it back. You like think about it for a second, like, what does this word mean? Then you like look at the root of it, and then like you look at what language it comes from, and you're like, how did that get into everyday speech, right? Because it had to have been a cultural influence, right? Because all language is cultural. It's super cool.
It's wild. Go back and it's like, oh, this is Latin. I'll be honest, I can understand like little bits and pieces. Like I have Duolingo. I just paid the whole year subscription. I'm learning French this year for no reason besides I wanted to go to France. I'm like, yeah, whatever.
Right.
It'd be cool to learn.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, this is a Latin language, and Portuguese and Spanish. They all like are derivatives of Latin. But dude, don't even get me started. I tried a little bit of like, it was probably 2 days of me trying to learn like Korean or Chinese, and I was like over there just trying all the different sounds and everything, and it's like, oh dude.
You're like, screw this.
Well, I actually got to the point where I was in the supermarket and a man was standing there, and I straight up was like, it would probably cause some problems if I just said, hey, can I just try out some Korean? But the thought crossed my mind where I thought, that's probably not appropriate. In this thing, I'm like pointing at the fruit, just saying.
Turns out his name's Fred from Connecticut.
I'm like, oh, dude, I'm like, what are you looking for? And then I start saying it in the different languages. I was like, I don't think that would work out. It was this man, sir. I'm like, I just tried to help him.
Then he starts just correcting you, and you're like, oh, it worked out. It's a free lesson.
That would be fantastic. I'm like, 30-day free trial, giving that back.
Yeah, bro.
Duolingo. I was just hanging out with Fred from now on.
Dude, Fred from Connecticut.
So, what's the draw to France? Is there a reason you want to go over there?
Well, I had a foreign exchange student named Adriana when I was like 14. She was staying at her house. She's from Bordeaux.
Okay.
Yeah, really cool place. Never been there, seen pictures. But not too far from Paris. and she would just tell like all these super cool things about Paris and the people, and she spoke like 5 different languages like fluently. The education system is just so different there because they know they're going to be traveling a lot. Where I feel like in America we're just like, we're freaking here, like we are the destination spot. Everyone's trying to come, but they just. That's mostly it, is like having the conversations with her and her just being able to articulate all the different places that she's been. Right. And I was like, that would be so cool. And then obviously a big one would be Ratatouille. Dude. I would love to go and just try some French food. I've heard things about France that I'm like, I've heard like it's not a super clean place.
Yeah, it's not.
And so I was like, that's like a Debbie Downer for me, but I just love to go. I think it'd be cool. Yeah. And French is a cool enough language. I hear people like sing it and talk it, and I'm like, I can dig with that.
Dude, like, first of all, Ratatouille looks good in the movie. You ever tried it in real life?
No.
Dude,
the movie doesn't make it look phenomenal.
Dude, it looks so good.
But I hear, isn't it like a vegetarian dish?
Dude, it's just like vegetables with some sauce.
Isn't it just like cut up eggplant pretty much?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's all it is. Yeah. And it's like they named a whole damn movie out of it, and it's the worst food I've ever had in my life. But in the movie, it looks freaking good, and it's made by a rat.
When they put that sauce over it, does the sauce.
Dude, you can just taste it through a cartoon. You're like licking the TV screen almost. You know what I mean?
You're going home, Mom. Make some ratatouille.
Please, ratatouille, Mom.
You uncultured swine.
I'm sick of the bologna, Mom.
I had the same sandwich every day for the last 3 years. Give me some gosh dang ratatouille.
Dude, I need that ratatouille, dog.
Dude, that was me with scrambled eggs in the morning. I can't even eat them anymore. I haven't for probably like 4 or 5 years straight. Like, my body just rejects them now.
No more.
I can't handle them. That's how it is for me. I've had like some people that can make an egg, and I'm like, how? Because it's like, you ever had someone make scrambled eggs, and they're just like the perfect amount of like, not too hard, not too soft, just like somehow creamy.
Yes, yeah.
And I'm like eating them, and I'm like, I love you.
Yeah.
Like, I'm having a connection with their chef.
Right.
Whether that's like someone I know really well or not, I'm just like, this is amazing. And then I get like the idea that I would like to make some. And the next day, and I'm like, all right, high heat. Doing there, and I'm like, I can see it already hardening. And I'm like, I already forgot to get the seasoning out and everything. So I'm like,
egg sticking
doing that, and it's sticking. And I'm like, I thought this was non-stick, and all these thoughts are in my brain. And I'm just like,
did you watch the Gordon Ramsay scrambled egg video or something?
Nah, dude, I should.
Oh, dude, that's what I always try and do that. But he's like high heat, and then he's like on the heat, off the heat, stir it up.
I don't understand
seasoning
that.
last, and I've tried that probably like 30 times, and I still suck.
I don't understand.
Dude, I don't get it either.
The high heat, mid heat. My sister's mother-in-law is like an incredible chef. Okay. And I've like sat there and watched her make like really basic food, and she'll do that same thing, and I'm like, why are you adjusting that nozzle? Like, you turn it on, you leave it on. Like, that's pretty much it.
Put it on medium and just leave it.
Yeah, 100%. But turns out that's like a crucial step in getting food like to the right consistency. But yeah, I've really thought about going like a not culinary arts school, but like the occasional class here and there. I think it'd be fun. I would feel kind of embarrassed if I say, I don't know how to cook eggs the way that my friends do.
But you know how to cook ratatouille.
But ratatouille, I mean, honestly, I think you just throw it in the oven.
Yeah, you just get some vegetables, throw it in the oven, put some ketchup on there, it'll come out.
I really hope we're not eating eggplant and ketchup.
Imagine getting to France and you order ratatouille and they're like, here you go, and it's just like, and it's just a freaking plate of ketchup with eggplant.
Bring out some ketchup.
Yeah. So, you're taking French currently.
Yes.
And you
Je
want...
ne sais pas pourquoi.
Oh, oui.
I said, that means I don't know why, and it's probably the only phrase I know.
That's nice, though. That sounds nice in the ears.
I've said it probably 1,000 times, just in the mirror. Je ne sais pas pourquoi. Because I can just imagine somebody asking me a question, and I don't know. Je ne sais pas.
Je ne sais pas pourquoi.
Je ne sais pas pourquoi.
Je ne sais pas pourquoi.
That's yes.
Je ne sais pas
there you
pourquoi. Go. Yeah, that's nice. I love that. Yeah, I've looked into French a little bit too. French, out of all the Latin languages, French definitely seems the hardest for sure. Like I learned,
I just can't say like some of the R's and some of the other words we have to speak in the back of your throat.
Or is it German? That's like really.
Yeah, dude. No, I don't even mess with that stuff.
Dude.
Frick the Nazis, you know what I'm saying?
That's the thing, dude. You speak
those guys.
speak German, you give up the right to feel the spirit. It's okay. I served with the German on my mission. I'd say crap like that all the time.
Oh, please no.
Well, he kind of fit the description, didn't
Yeah,
he?
No, he was one of my favorite companions. He was my very last transfer, and I really wanted to serve with him because he was an actual stud, dude.
You could tell he was German, though.
No, you could. He was very with stuff, which is good. He was a good missionary. But his name is Elder Alhus. With that R, it's like I still not. Sorry, Elder Aldous. I'm not gonna say it right. But he just recently got married. Congrats, stud,
Fantastic.
dude. I don't think you're a bad German. I think you're a good German. I think he can feel a spirit. I know you can.
He goes, and you are just like every American I've ever met.
He is, dog. I remember one time. Oh, hopefully he doesn't. There's no way he listens to this. Elder Alice is one of the greatest men I've ever met in my life. But one time we were watching. I was like 1 week from going home, and it was conference. And I told him, because I was trio training with him. And so it was me, this kid from Elder Blackhurst, super awesome. He's from Alpine. Okay. And then me and Elder Aldous. And I said, I'll bet you guys $20 that there's going to be a temple in Heber. And it was the one they announced that, Heber. And I don't know what was his problem that day. Like, we got in a few little bit of an argument earlier that day, which has never happened with me before. I don't know. But I didn't want to wear my suit coat to watch General Conference because, the time difference was we were watching it at 10 o'clock at night. So we were watching it in our apartment, and I wasn't going to wear my suit coat in the apartment. I'm like, dude, I'm just going to wear...
That makes sense.
I said, I'll wear my white shirt. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't, but I will. I'll wear my white shirt. Anyway, that got into an argument, and he called Americans super lazy and all this stuff. And I'm like, whatever, dog. I don't care. I probably am pretty lazy. And I'm like, so anyway, day goes on, and I'm like, dude, there's going to be a temple in Heber. I know it. I'll call it. So I was very irreverent when the prophet announced that one would be in Heber, right? It's like, let's go, baby. I know what's going to happen. I knew it, baby. I was going nuts, right? And he got so upset with me. And he's like, he said, yeah, that's one more temple in Utah. And I'm like, yeah, baby, let's go. And I'm like, tithing, here we go. He's paying so much tithing over there. And he's like, it's just because you guys don't have enough faith to drive 3 hours to go to the temple. And I was like, oh, sheesh. I was like, nah, dog. Dude, my ancestors walked across the country, bro. What do you mean? And it's like, but it was...
Then again, he's living in Germany?
Right.
Okay, well,
yeah,
never mind.
100% from Germany.
There's a lot of people I know, especially in these old movies you'd be watching about those pioneers.
Yeah, dude.
They'd be coming out of all sorts of places.
That's true.
On ships.
That's true.
From Germany.
That's true.
Just for religious beliefs.
It's true. Elder Aldous, dude, I love that guy. I talked to him the most out of all my companions, probably still.
That's awesome.
He's super cool. He taught me a lot. He was new on the mission, too, and he, taught me a ton.
That's so cool.
Just a great guy.
I love that.
Dude, I'd hug him right now if he was here. Hug him so hard. Oh, gosh, Elder Aldous. Elder Blackhurst, I know you're still on the mission. I'd hug you, too, man. Right where you... Just right in your heart.
Nice.
Yeah. Wow, that was nice.
That was nice.
Thanks for letting me share that, guys.
Tender moment.
That was nice. Holy crap.
So,
good memories.
French, culinary school.
Oh, yes.
Do you have any other hobbies or goals you're trying to develop at this stage in your life?
Maybe get a pet rat, because this is
Pet
starting
rat?
to seem like a movie.
Train a pet rat?
Pull on your ear.
Possibly?
I'll be honest, if I'm going to train anything, I think a buffalo would be the thing.
Oh, baby!
I think
That'd
I'd
be
want to
sick.
train.
Have you seen the guy on the buffalo little clips?
Yes, I have.
Yes.
I didn't realize that that's an actual thing that people could possibly do.
Yeah, I think those are legit. It's real video footage.
No,
Yeah.
and I would love to do that. Because I grew up riding horses, and so I was awesome. The fact that there was ever a person that looked at an animal was like, I'll ride that. And it's still there are certain things that we do today as a society that I don't think that if it wasn't already invented that I'd be doing.
Oh, no way.
The concept of a steam engine don't know. I have no idea how it works.
Yeah.
I would most definitely just be. I wouldn't even have a broom. I would.
You'd be sweeping things with your arms.
I'd just be like living with my arms, you know, just like a little guy
in the Stone Age.
around. I arguably, I think I would be.
I think I probably would be too. I mean,
I'm just a simple guy for the most part. I think because I was born in this age, I can learn. Obviously, I don't know how to cook. I don't think I would have ever figured out fire, personally. How to capture that. I would have seen things and I'd be like, cool. All right, now is the time to go cook our raw meat. If we're gonna do it, there's a forest fire.
Strikes, let's go, baby. Run to the fire.
Yeah, we're like, kill the animals, let's go. Like that, I would definitely be. I would take advantage of those situations, but I don't think I ever would have learned that. Electricity, if I was the one in charge, never would have happened.
I still don't know how that works.
I don't understand how you can get like. I mean, I do because I'm a man, and I understand, like, I love seeing things break, and I love seeing things on fire. So, if I can see something break, I'm like, awesome, let's do it. Throw the rock, throw this. But I don't even understand the whole ore,
Yes. Like, I've had this question so many times.
How somebody was just walking. I understand, like, molten lava. But if you live by a volcano, you're like, oh, something's hot down there.
Yeah.
And it's making all this lava, some obsidian over here, lava rocks. But the fact that somebody back in the day just found like some metals or like I don't even know if they knew they had metals or just rocks.
Just a cool looking
There's
rock.
a cool looking rock there. This is really cool.
Let's heat it up.
And see what happens. Yeah. I don't understand that. And then they were able to make swords and bows and all these other weapons. And I'm like, dude, 100% if it was my day, I'm not even going to give myself enough credit to say I would have figured out sewing. Or
Dude,
I look at like a cotton plant and I'm like, some creative mofo figured this out. Like, I don't understand.
Like the cotton gin or whatever it is that like strings it up. Like, what?
No idea.
I think like 95% of it would have had to be on accident. Like the molten stuff.
Yeah, for real.
Like, sure, they find fire, like lightning blows up a tree or something, and they're like, this is cool. They replicate that somehow. And then maybe they're cooking their meat on a rock or something. Yeah. Then they're like, oh, freak, like this rock's melting in front of me. Mm-hmm. And then maybe they shave it on something cool. Like, I think that's pretty much everything.
Probably the extent of my knowledge, if I went back then, I probably would have been able to see things grow and been like, I'll take that seed.
Yeah.
Right here. Okay. I could have figured out farming. And I probably think I could have figured out maybe, a hoe or something. Yeah. I wouldn't have had it with metal. It would have been a stick, and I would have figured out, okay, well, this stick, with time. I think if I could have lived 30, 40 years, I could have figured some things out. Mm-hmm. But it would have been basic farming equipment. Yeah. And I would have lived a good life. Just like a good life on the prairie life.
That's just not a bad life.
Walking around, I see a duck, hit the duck, and then I, get it. Kind of like a Minecraft where you can hit the duck, and then you're like, meat! You got the little creepers.
So I have a question for you.
Okay.
So I've been thinking, I don't know why, I just thought about this the other day. But let's say, like right now, with the knowledge you have, at this point in your life, you get like time traveled back like 500 years. Mm-hmm. You get plopped in that time. Do you think you could be successful, like knowing what you know, like
no.
become rich
Easy
or
answer,
something? Or?
No way. I mean, maybe... I mean, dude, I'd go back in time. If I still had one of these things, I would have been like, yeah, in the future, we can actually talk to people around the world. And they'd be like, how? And I'm like,
I don't... this.
I'm like, this right here.
But it's dead.
I know it has an apple. This is an Apple. I don't know if you guys have seen those in this part of the world yet. But, great company. If you guys are investors, get in.
Invest.
But, I genuinely don't think that.
I know, I was thinking about it.
I could probably say horses. I could do that because, I grew up with that. Mm-hmm. But...
maybe, like, I don't know if, like, rain... They probably had rains back then, or, like, something like...
Yeah, I mean, if it was things that I just could go back and see what they had, then I'd be like, oh, well, if you just change this bit right here. Yeah. And then maybe, I think I'm enough, I'm business savvy enough that I could have been able to be like, oh, you guys... I just invented something. Right. Buy it from me.
Yeah, dude.
I could have done that. But if anything like a Henry Ford or any of that type of stuff, like Thomas Edison being able to become just buku wealthy for that time.
Yeah.
No, that ain't me. I would have been able to be like, I have a solution to your problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I could probably help you a little bit.
I feel like the richest people of that time were either royalty, dictators, or inventors.
Most definitely. I would say so.
I know. I was thinking about it. I was just trying to think like what was not invented back then that I could go back and just like replicate.
Uh-huh.
But I don't know if I know anything good enough to like be able to like build it again back then.
Well, that's the thing. Like
Yeah.
a steam engine, like I was saying,
Yeah.
I don't understand. I mean, fire, somehow you're able to contain it and something starts moving. Like the idea that someone was able to take that. I actually watched October Sky the other day.
Never heard of it.
Dude, phenomenal movie.
Really? Huh.
Really good. It's about like the Rocket Boys.
Okay.
So like back in, I think it was like early 60s, 70s when rocketeering was becoming like a really big thing around the world. It was like right when Sputnik went in the air.
Okay.
And so it like started like this really
Like
big
the space
desire.
race?
Yeah, so it's literally started like the space race. These boys essentially saw it in the air, just started throwing things together, and somehow with books of rocketeering and mathematics figured out like a formula and like the correct shape using physics for rockets.
Yeah.
And
oh my gosh.
really cool. But like, to answer your question, I really don't think I could have figured any of that stuff out myself.
Or I just thought of something.
Okay.
Because because back then, the gold rush hasn't happened yet, right? So if
That
you're in
is-
America,
okay.
maybe you just skirt on out there, head over to California.
I
start
feel like
panning-
if
start
I go
panning
back
for
there,
gold.
if I go back there now, they'd be like, "Where are you from?" Because like my accent, they'd be like, "Where are you from?" If I'm like, I'm from the future, dude, they're gonna. If I start saying, "Oh yeah, on the other side of the world," I've never been there.
Right.
Walking, like
Right.
I've been there. They have really cool beaches. A lot of things. I mean, if you guys are in the, the tourism, it's gonna be huge.
Yeah.
The tourism is gonna be huge. The Kardashians live there. I was like,
Oh, you don't know the Kardashians? You will.
I was like, trust me, your great grandkids will probably have seen stuff.
Probably too much.
They will probably know her better than most people. But,
No.
yeah, I mean, I don't think I could. It would take some. Like, I've never been there, but I'm from the future. If someone like came up to me and said that,
You'd be like, screw off, dude.
I'd probably be like, prove it.
Maybe you could be a fortune teller or something.
Fortune teller could be
Maybe.
cool,
Yeah.
but I don't know anything about it. And I think if I
Oh,
went
man.
back in the day,
Yeah.
I would be called out for witchcraft.
All right, here we go. I got it. You know when you go to like any kind of like outdoor show, hunting expo, anything, you always see the little people, the little fire stars, the phosphorus or whatever.
Oh.
You can take that. I'm like, guys, look at this. Start a fire,
That'd actually
and then
be
be
cool.
like, dude, this guy's got it figured out. No more stone hitting for us.
Yeah,
Dude, then that's what you could replicate.
that's something I could replicate. Except I would be like, see this? This is what we call stainless steel. No idea how it's created
But
or
here
where
it
you could find the materials to do
Yeah.
this.
That's true.
I'm like, I hear Colorado has a lot of this stuff.
Go there.
They're
Where's
like,
Colorado?
Where's Colorado? I'm like, deep in Indian territory.
That's the thing, dude. If you go back 500 years and you have to go to California, you want to get some like gold. You're fighting off bears, dog, 24/7.
You're finding out everything.
Dude, everything. Yeah, there used to be tons of bears in California, from what I hear. I mean, they got a bear on their flag, dog.
Yeah.
They got a dang bear on their flag, but they don't got many bears anymore, I don't think. Or do they?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think
They got black bears.
Black bears.
Frank the Tank.
Yeah.
You heard of Frank the Tank?
Oh, was that the big one that was on like Instagram?
Yeah, he was like
Big old-
500-pound bear just raiding everyone's houses. He literally raided like 30 people's houses.
Swimming in pools?
Swimming in pools, raiding houses.
I can't
tipping over
believe.
garbage
I
cans.
still can't believe that there's a human being out there that would look at that animal and be like, I could beat that.
Yeah.
You know, like the
thing will
classic
kill you.
debate, like, you think you could beat a bear? There's that one guy sipping on a Bud Light that's like, yeah, I could take it.
No, yeah.
You give me a knife, I could probably take that thing.
Yeah, dude.
That thing has 5 knives born in on one hand.
Yeah,
Like,
dude.
there ain't no way.
That thing is strong, is freak, fast, swims, climbs, everything under the sun.
Does
you
it
can do,
all.
baby.
Does it all.
Oh yeah, bears are cool.
So, what is the biggest animal you think you could take in a fight? Hand-to-hand combat.
No knife.
No knife?
Wolverine, badger.
Warrior or badger. I don't know, dude. I'll be honest. I would like to say that I'm faster than a lot of these animals.
Okay.
That I'm stronger. But I mean,
But they got
you
sharp stuff.
Dude, you get a sloth fast enough,
Dude.
or like motivated enough. Those things can actually be pretty quick. I don't know if I could take a sloth.
Eesh, dude. I've seen their claws. They're pretty scary.
Very scary.
They're like this, like.
Yeah, but they have like the weird hands.
Yeah, that's what scared me.
But it'd be like coming out at you. Like, I mean, imagine a praying mantis, like the size of a dog.
Yeah, and hairy.
Dude, that'd F you up.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Have you seen video like
They
big
can-
old lizards and stuff, just like taking them out?
I've literally seen those things just chopping off heads.
Yeah, dude.
The animal kingdom is actually barbaric.
Dude, it really is. If you need to go... Okay, I have an Instagram account you need to follow. It's called Nature. Nature is Metal.
I think I saw you followed that the other day, and I started following it.
Dude, they have the most insane animal videos I've ever seen in my life, dude. Have you follow Nature is Metal? Mm-mm. You gotta follow it. Dude, some of the videos on there,
I saw a couple of them, and I saw you followed it, and I was like, all right, this is cool.
Yeah.
This is stuff I'd like people to click on, somehow find it through their Explore Me page, and if they see I'm following it,
yeah, dude.
they know I'm about it. They know I'm not someone you mess with, because I enjoy that kind of stuff.
Dude, I love seeing animals kill each other. I'm a freaking psychopath. But dude, no, it's insane. Like,
it is
literally
crazy.
some of the animals. I was trying to think, which one did I see the other day? I can't remember, but I have seen praying mantis on there, and that praying mantis is taking on a full-on lizard.
That's the one I saw.
Yeah.
Maybe it was on my Explore page or something, but I saw the.
If you go on that page, I'm following it.
I'll look for you.
Dude,
See if I can, I'll look it up after this.
Screenshot it.
But to answer your question, I mean, I see like videos of like police dogs going and attacking people.
Yeah.
I could take a dog.
You think so?
I think I could take a dog.
Okay.
I mean, because if it's biting my arm, that obviously is causing a lot of damage, but I'm going to live.
Yeah,
I don't think
you'll
I'm
live.
going to die.
Unless
If I
they go-
know it's coming. If
Yeah.
I know it's coming, I think I have a good chance. But if I'm just like running this way and it just comes and takes out my neck,
Yeah.
I'm a goner.
I think
mean, I've
military ones, they train for the neck, man.
Yeah, I might not make it. I might not make it. I might need to think something smaller than a dog.
I think I could take a bobcat.
Yeah.
I've seen bobcat videos where
Yeah.
people just manhandle bobcat.
Yeah.
I think you could take a bobcat pretty easily.
Do you?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to also think what kind of dog. Chihuahua,
Yeah,
dead.
screw chihuahuas, man.
But I mean, some of those like cattle dogs. Like I had a red heeler growing up.
Okay.
I would not want that thing mad at me if I'm running away.
Yeah.
'Cause those things go for the heels. Achilles tendon, gone. Now what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
If that thing has any stealth and I'm just in the forest,
Yeah, dude.
goner.
That's true.
Or I just read an article, I think it was just yesterday actually, but this guy, he has like pit bull, like big old muscly pit bull, right? Mm-hmm. And one day he goes out back because he keeps it outside and just sees it's like all bloodied up, just like torn up and stuff. He's like,
yes.
dude, what the heck? Like takes it to the vet, gets it fixed up, goes back home and follows the blood trail. Like he has some woods behind his house, walks back there, 7 dead coyotes.
No, it was 9.
Or 9 dead coyotes. Like
No
this pit bull
way.
just took him on. Just tore up 9 coyotes.
9 coyotes, dog.
That is insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think maybe a dog, but like not like a young dog with a lot of stamina. Maybe like end of its time police dog I could take on.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
Wolves, I didn't realize how big they were. They're freaking massive.
Oh, I think wolves would mess a guy up.
Yeah, 100%. Especially if it's like, if it's an intelligent wolf, which most of them
Yeah.
are. I mean, they can. I bet a wolf could read T.S. Eliot with its eyes. I mean,
Has freaking glasses on.
dude, 100%. But yeah, I have no idea. I've thought about this a lot. I think I was reading actually this like little post the other day where it's like, could you take on like a hawk, or I mean a hawk coming out of nowhere if I don't know where it's coming from. Dude, I would feel like a little mouse just running around, looking around. This thing got big old claws. Can you just imagine? I get queasy at the thought of like something causing me pain. So the thought of something getting into my back, ugh.
Well,
no way.
Those freaking, you see like eagles or hawks fly down, they can pick up a slimy fish out of the lake, dude, and just and swim on or fly off with them.
Or some of those bigger eagles, like they're picking up like baby deer and stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
80 pounds.
I saw a video of like
800 pounds.
15 vultures just destroying like a carcass in like 15, 20 seconds.
Yeah, dude, birds are nuts. People don't realize that birds are actually insane.
Yeah.
Like I think it's over in Asia somewhere. I think Mongolia has them and stuff. Those golden eagles. biggest eagles. Like those things can pick up like 100 to 150 pound animals, just carry them up and then just drop them.
Holy cow, dude!
That's like a 10, 12-year-old kid.
That's not much more than me, honestly. I'm like 190.
Yeah. Dude, imagine you just get a behemoth and just swoops down and grabs you by the earlobes and takes you off, dude.
Dude, I'd just be flying up there like this, you're like saying my life.
Take me to heaven, dog.
Well, because at that point, you're already high enough. Like, all right. I'm like, there's literally nothing I can do besides fall from here.
Yeah.
Unless I'm like, yanking it down, like trying to get down.
Unless it's like Avatar and you have to like bond with it and you can actually ride it.
Yeah.
You just like climb up there, get on it, and
hopefully
be like, hey.
it's French and I can just start whispering sweet nothings.
Yeah.
I'm like,
all eagles are French.
I'm good friends with Mbappe. My good friend.
Or I also saw another guy, he choked out a mountain lion and killed a jogger in California.
I saw that too.
Yeah,
that was pretty impressive.
That is impressive.
I think that's a lot of luck too.
I don't think it was a full-grown mountain lion.
It had been
he said it was juvenile.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna say Jewish.
But like it effed him up a little bit. But dude, he just got on top of it and choked it out.
Okay, well that's one thing as well that I would like to. I mean, I've talked down on myself quite a bit. I'm gonna lift myself back up.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's coming at me, I think I'm quick enough because I did like wrestling, where I understand like body control.
Yeah.
A little bit, So if one's coming at me, I'd like to think that if it's coming at me like this, I could just do a little bit of like,
yeah,
and then just,
dude, I think you could.
I think I could.
I think
and I could definitely choke something into submission.
Yeah.
I definitely think I have like just some boa constrictor strength on me sometimes. If it's life or death, it's gonna be this thing that I'm fighting. But some of those animals have just ridiculously big like bone structures in them because they are like designed for that.
Right.
I think we're past the age. That's not true. I see people like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and I'm like, that man was born to kill things.
Yeah.
People like me, I mean, I got a pretty good body size, but I still think there are just people like Steven Adams that I'm like, you were meant, if you were born 300 years ago, you would have been a king somewhere.
Oh yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, I go to some of these like Polynesian countries, and I'll see just like the average Polynesian dude, and I'm like, I would submit to you. You would be my chieftain. If we were back then. So that's not dogging on. I mean, for my poly bros out there, like, respectfully, you could probably beat me up.
Any one of them.
Any one of you. I know there's some smaller dudes, and I'm gonna say you guys are extremely quick, and we'd have a tussle. For sure.
Yeah, dude.
No, they're just built different. So
100%.
When I was little, we lived in Samoa because my dad was building the temple over there.
Uh-huh.
So I was pretty young. I don't really remember it, but my dad told me the polys over there, they just love to pull pranks on each other, right? And they'd be up on scaffolding, right? And someone would haul a big old rock out there, and like another Samoan guy would be walking underneath. And they just drop it on his head.
Oh my god!
And they thought it was the funniest thing ever. But my dad, he's scared for his life, right? He's like, dude, if they dropped that rock on me, I'd be dead.
Yeah.
I would not survive this.
Yeah.
But I think they just got.
That's all about setting boundaries when you get there.
Yeah, you're like, don't drop rocks on me. You think that just goes without being said?
Yeah. No, dude, but I mean, especially with social media, I think like I'll look and I'm just scrolling through all these like just super buff dudes, and I'm like, I don't know how much of it is natural nowadays.
Yeah, it's
like you see Liver King, and I'm like, that dude is a behemoth of a man.
Yeah, dude.
But like
steroids,
freaking liar. You know what I'm saying? But that dude, even with steroids, he's still. I mean, without steroids, he's still a big dude.
Yeah.
Like. Yeah, I just see certain people. I read a book a little bit ago. Not even a book. All right. It wasn't a book. It was an article. I didn't read the book. It was an article in my Google for you.
The Spark Notes.
Yeah. Dude. I wish. But I'm for some reason, I think Google just knows me, and we're just good friends.
Yeah.
Me and Google
dude.
They know everything about me.
Yeah.
Honestly, though, Instagram, good Explore You for the most part. Snapchat, horrible For You page at the very end. Like, it's so trash. Terrible. It's all like cosmopolitan, whatever. But Google, I could look something up, like the Ford Maverick truck, and then I'll look up like a Rolex watch, and then I'll look up like, oh, things going on in the economy. That thing has me so dialed on what I'm actually looking for.
Oh, yeah.
It's incredible.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they know me inside and out, but some of their stuff is pure clickbait.
Oh, it is.
Pure clickbait.
F you, Google, but also thank you so much.
I appreciate you.
Does
I couldn't have made it.
Does that scare you, though, sometimes, on how well it knows you?
Google is my therapist. I would say that. I mean, it knows me very well, but it's like, I couldn't have a therapist, because I have a therapist, and I'm all about therapy. I think everyone should go to therapy. But Google is free therapy. I will say that, for the most part, until they start throwing taxes on that, which I'm opposed to taxes.
Yes.
But Google is free therapy for the most part, because they just got all sorts of therapists trying to earn your business, and they're just throwing out free content. I'm a huge fan of free content.
Yeah.
And if someone has good free content, dude, I will pay above and beyond to get you. Like, I just think, like, learning, like, education, which is funny that I'm saying this because, I just said I'm not the smartest individual. Obviously, I need to put more money into this.
You are. You're dumb.
But education, like, learning skills, and, like, a couple other things, therapy, are all things I just don't think you should skimp out on. Okay. And, like, I think if you're going to do it, do something, be effective, be efficient, pay the extra money, it's going to be worth it. Yeah. But I do love me some free content, and Google, you do scare me, but I would never go to like a therapist that knows me before they were my therapist, because I just think that'd be weird personally. Yeah. I don't want to go to someone and they already know my story, and now I'm just like telling them how I feel, and I'm like, oh yeah, you're gonna see me I'm gonna see you at the gym tomorrow. Like, I'm finding a therapist in another town.
No, I get that. Yeah.
or something, because I'm not trying to have like a relationship with you. But yeah, I'm all about that therapy stuff. But definitely not.
I've thought about it sometimes, because sometimes I'm pretty chill, I'm good, but like, dude, I get in my brain sometimes, and like anxiety eats me alive, and I'm just a dick to people when I get that way. Like Cooper, I'm sure you've seen it when I get that way and stuff.
I'm agreeing with you. I'm not saying
you're a dick. No, I am a dick. I
hate this guy.
I am a dick. But I was wondering, like, do I just need to figure shit out in my brain, or what? When I get that way, I don't know. I've thought about it sometimes, like doing it.
Dude, I'm a huge. I mean, before. I mean, I've been doing therapy probably like 3-4 months now, like religiously every week, and before that, I was like, dude, I got this figured out. I got my self-help books. I'm reading. I'm doing all that. But it is totally different when you can sit with someone and like just have a conversation like we are right now, and then have them stop and say, okay, you've said that a few times. What do you mean by that? And to be able to like dissect your way of thinking. Like, I've thought I'm a thinker. I love thinking about, like, I'm very big into just being reflective and like open and honest with myself. But even then, there are times where I don't like acknowledging things that I'm doing, because I know the answer, but I don't want to be like, don't want to say it out loud. Yeah. And so having somebody else like kind of call you out and ask, why do you think that way? What do you think? Like, what is your body telling you when you do feel this way? Like, do you feel anything? It's just been a really cool experience. I think everybody should go through therapy, personally.
Interesting.
Having somebody to be able, like, specifically there to break down how you feel has been just super cool for me.
Do you feel like you've learned more about yourself by going to therapy?
Totally.
Really?
100%. Yeah. Because, like, I know myself, but it's different when I can, like, say it out loud. Yeah. And to have somebody just kind of, like, be totally okay with that. I mean, they don't know me on, like, a personal level. Yeah. Sometimes I feel like, oh, this person's so invested in me. This person loves me. And then I realize, like, I saw a video of this the other day where this guy was like, I freaking love my therapist, and I seriously was like, she loves me and cares for me. And then he realized, it's because I pay you. Like, this is your job, And there was a comedian, he was saying, like, maybe I should just change it all around. Like, you're at a strip club and you're like, this girl really loves me. This girl loves me. He's like, maybe I should switch it up and just, like, when I'm in the middle of my therapy, just start throwing the money I already owe her. I'm like, you love me. Work, baby.
You ask me those questions.
I'm like, I am free.
Thank you. That's so funny.
But no, I've learned a lot about myself and mostly how I like react to things. It's been really helpful. I mean, in reality, if you want cheap therapy, watch Inside Out.
Okay.
That's like the Disney version of Inside Out. It's really weird. Like going to therapy, I watched that show recently, and being able to say, you know, what emotion is controlling me right now? You know, like what am I giving? Because all of your different emotions like are there for a reason, and you can definitely learn from them all.
Yeah.
But like, there are times where you just need to feel sad, and there are times where you just joy is going to be over there, you know, just controlling everything.
Yeah.
And to like try and give everything to one emotion all the time, you're just like blocking things out, and you can never. I mean, you have to just acknowledge emotions from what I'm realizing and learning. You can't just keep pushing something away because it's always going to come back.
Yeah.
Like no matter how far you push it away, like it doesn't die down there. It's just going to come back up with a freaking, you know, World War Z army. And just wreck your life, dude.
Yeah.
And so it's pretty crazy. I'm really appreciative of therapy, honestly.
That's cool.
It's cool.
I know. I feel like I'd be interested in that part because I feel like a lot of things we do, like we just do like subconsciously, like we don't really, like we know we do it, but we don't really recognize the why behind it.
Yeah.
I feel like therapy would help you with that. Like you'd learn more about yourself, like why you do certain things, be able to gain better control of your emotions, which I think is really important. I think every guy, one of the biggest things that they should be able to learn to do is be able to control their emotions. I feel like that's like, especially this younger generation. I mean, at least me personally, I don't think it's heading in a very good direction. It's like a lot of the younger kids and our age too, especially our age, just doesn't have it figured out. I feel like that's one of the biggest reasons they can't control their emotions.
I mean, I've watched a lot of like Jordan Peterson and Ben Shapiro and Matt Walsh. A lot of these guys have a lot. Like, they're very, very open. I mean, they're very, you know, conservative views for the most part. And it's very interesting to break down people, right? But I totally agree. I'm extremely worried about just people as they go. Alex Hermosi, I don't know if you guys know Alex Hermosi. Phenomenal business leader. He's like started a bunch of businesses, and he's someone that I watch and listen to regularly. Super cool guy. He's a bro. He's like, I think just under 30 years old. Cool. Had a couple multi-million-dollar exits. Really cool guy. And I was watching this video from him the other day, and it basically said like, you want your kid to be tough. Like, what are you willing to do so that they learn that lesson? You want your kid to be like strong. Okay, what are you willing to allow them to do to discover like their strength? Or like he just kind of goes in and asks all these questions, and he basically says like, you want your kid to make money. What are you willing to do? Like, let them learn that skill. And I just think there's so many parents that, and obviously I'm no parent, but I do think that there's people just are trying to just give everything to their kid. And obviously that's like what you want to do as a parent, like give everything I didn't have. But there's so much that I've learned from my parents, and I have incredible parents. Yeah. But I do wish that they would have let me learn the hard way on some other things. Fair. And I can look back and say, dude, like, my life was hard. Like, because I feel like I worked really hard. Like, I was cleaning stalls, working my tail off for money. But it was always, like, work for my dad. Yeah. And so if he would have said, I have a couple friends that are like, dude, my dad didn't let me do anything. And they're very successful people. He's like, oh, you want money? Cool. Like, go talk to your neighbor. Go talk to here. And they'd go work. They'd handle rejection at a young age. Dude, it is so cool to see where these people are now. And, like, I just think a lot of that is just being lost with today because you're trying to just give kids everything. And they're just not learning the way that, you know, we did. Because I think back in the day, like, my dad, he used to work for my dad, my grandpa. But it was his dad and him laying brick on buildings all day long. And, like, working with your dad, you're able to learn from him as he's, like, saying, oh, do this, do that. Giving life advice. Like, today, I feel like it's so different. Yeah. I mean, obviously the different career paths are different, but, I mean, I don't know what. It's just, I think about, like, having kids a lot. Yeah. Like, down the road. And I'm just like, dude, I don't know how I'm going to teach them some of the life lessons that I've learned. and it kind of scares me because I'm like, I know what caliber of person I want you to be, but when it does come to like watching my kid climb up a staircase or watching him climb up like the bars, and I have to like stand back and let him fall so he learns not to do that. That's just like that's like tough.
Yeah, that reminds me of like I saw a video of it's Neil deGrasse Tyson or whatever, that black
Oh
dude.
yeah,
He's an
yeah.
astrologist or whatever he is. But he was talking about this too, like parenting. And I don't know what his right to parenting or whatever, but I thought it was really good advice. He was talking about like the mom's holding her son's hand, they're walking, and the son there's coming a mud puddle or whatever, and like a mom most time naturally just like pull him away, right? But let him walk through it. I mean, he's curious. Let him find out what it's like. So I think that's really smart. I think one of the best advice ever given by a parent to a son is in the Book of Mormon. It's in it's one of my favorite scriptures. What is it? I sent you. It's Alma. I'm pretty sure.
Honey, what is that scripture?
But it's when book.
Alma has the 3 sons.
Yeah.
Right, and they're all 3 missionaries. And there's the one son that was like kind of went with like Isabella, something, the harlot.
Yeah.
He's like, dude, freaking get your head out of your butt. And then the other one did something else, but the one
being hosed, you know.
And then there was one that was like kind of in the middle, like he wasn't doing super good. Because there was one that was really good, one that was okay, and one that was really bad. Mm-hmm. And the one that was doing okay, he gave him some advice, and it's the Bridle Your Passions scripture. I think it's Alma 48. I don't know why I want to say that. That's what it is. But Alma 48, 17, that's what I'm going to say. I have no clue if that's true.
Fact check it.
But it's like, use boldness, but never overbearance. Bridle your passions. Oh, dude, that's what I try to live by. Like, what are my passions? What are things that are controlling me? Like, what's causing me to act out? And I need to get a control of that. I need to bridle it. But with that being said, like, I can't be afraid to really have an opinion on something. Mm-hmm. I got to be, like, bold in that. But I don't want to be overbearing. I don't want to be a douchebag, right? So it's, like, all about balance, right? Emotionally. And I think...
Dude, I love that.
I think, I always tell myself, like, dude, bridle your freaking passions. If I get upset or annoyed, I'm like, dude, just bridle your passions. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, I've actually thought a lot about bridling passions in the last little bit. Just because it's crazy to me how just flaky people are. Yeah. You know, like they'll say, oh, I'll do this. And they'll like, I have a couple friends that have like asked people on dates recently. And they'll like ask them a month in advance because they know like, oh, they're going to be flaky, but they really want to go out with this person. Mm-hmm. So they're like, trying to give them all the time in the world. Day comes and they've like had the plans, had everything. Day comes and like 30 minutes before, hey, can't make it, or they're ghosted, and I'm like,
why'd you look at me, man?
Like, this happens on a weekly basis for you, dog.
Yeah. But I'm like, just that, right? Like, just people have become so flaky.
Yeah.
Where and I think it has a lot to do with, you know, instant gratification.
Yeah.
Grass is green on the other side, shiny object syndrome. You know, like just there's always another opportunity. But, like, if you say you're going to do something and, like, you commit to it, especially to other people, just freaking do it. Yeah. Like, yeah, there might be other things going, like, for you in other categories, but, like, I just don't understand the whole, like, yeah, I have other opportunities. Like, I understand, like, how appealing it could be, but if I'm always chasing something else, like,
you'll always just be chasing.
I'm always going to be chasing. Mm-hmm. And, like, when can you just enjoy the moment and enjoy what you have as opposed to just keep searching?
Yeah.
And I found that like with my career, like just I do sales, and it's a very like, dude, you gotta just sell. But at the same time, if all I'm doing is like pushing to like make money or pushing to do this, like at what point do I kind of sit back and kind of like enjoy what I have? Yeah. And I just think there's so many people today that are just on that grind nonstop.
Right.
That they just forget to like stop and smell the roses.
Right.
You know?
And I think that's a big thing with culture, like our culture today with like this craving for like hustling and all this stuff, right? And those sales world, it's a big thing. Like there's never time, or it's almost like a sin to be satisfied.
Yeah.
It's almost like looked down upon to be satisfied. But I think it is good to be satisfied every once in a while. That does not mean to lose your discipline.
Yeah, you don't want to become complacent
exactly.
with where you're at. Like, still drive for something.
Yeah.
But you can do both.
Exactly.
You can, like, still have a lot of inner drive and, like, be highly motivated, but still be, like, happy where you are. And I'm all about like having a plan and structure and being able to, like, obviously just because you said you're going to do one thing, like, don't hold yourself down, but like you're knowing that eventually you're going to have to call an audible. You're going to have to go this way and go this way, but like you're still going to that plan that you set. And I just think there's so many people that they'll be going this way and they'll see something or hear something over here. It's just like, it's just so crazy to me, that whole, I'm going to give up everything that I worked for this like, thing that I've seen.
Right. Well, it's like, to me, it's like, even, I look at like Jesus, our perfect example, right? I think Jesus, I mean, you look at him, he did have an ultimate goal, right? It was to atone for everyone's sins. That was his ultimate goal. With that being said, along that path, he healed, he performed miracles, he did all these things, and I just know that he was very satisfied with the littlest things. Whether it be healing a person, whether it be giving words of advice, whether it be teaching, he was satisfied with every little piece of accomplishment on the path to his ultimate goal, which was atoning for people's sins. Mm-hmm. So I think, we should have big goals and even ultimate goals, right? Yeah. And everyone's maybe different. But you gotta be you gotta be satisfied with your little accomplishments always, which comes down to gratitude, right?
Mm-hmm. Just being grateful.
Yeah. So, dude, gratitude's a big thing. It's huge. It's huge.
It is crazy. I definitely think that, like, as a culture, like, just in the United States, there's been so much, like, shifting from traditional values and taking on more like this, like you said, like, people, I mean, the American people have always been grinders. Like, always, like, blue collar.
Yeah, right. Marcus
Service, appreciate you. R.I.P.
Right.
Like, we've always been grinders for the most part. And, like, people always think, oh, the American hustle, like, the American dream, yada, yada, yada. Like, I'm a huge proponent. Go big.
Yeah.
Like, if you can do it, freaking do it.
Right.
But, like, along the way, just because you have the opportunity to take care of yourself, it doesn't mean, like, be a douchebag and, like, oh, well, I'm getting here and I'm taking care of myself. I'm only going to, like, focus on me. Like, take care of the people that took care of you along the way. Like, you got to be grateful. Like, no one in the world, like, even all the people, like, the self-taught gurus, like, oh, I did this. Like, the books that you read, somebody else wrote. Like, the fact that you're there, somebody helped you. Somebody taught you. There was always something. And it was kind of funny. I was listening to this the other day where they were saying, like, a superhero and a supervillain had very similar backstories.
Interesting.
So, like, you look at Batman, like, he easily could have become, like, just, like, a super villain. Homeboy just had both of his parents murdered in front of him.
Right.
He could have, like, just, dude, F the world, I'm going to go and just take it out on people.
Right.
But instead he said, dude, this isn't happening to anyone else. Like, I'm going to protect the people that are walking in the dark so when people do come out. And so it's crazy, just perspective. How am I going to react to this? And just being able to say, dude, like, I'm here. I never want this to happen to somebody else. Or being able to flip the script and being like, dude, like, because I'm here and this happened to me, I'm going to make sure everybody feels that.
Right.
It's crazy. The human psyche is insane.
It is.
It's
insane.
crazy too.
It really is. It's crazy. It's all about perspective. It's all about, and
just how do you react to certain things?
Right.
It's incredible.
Yeah, dude. It's all about bridling your passions. All about bridling your passions, it really is.
Bridle up, baby.
Dude, bridle up, baby.
Bridle up.
Bridle up so you can be filled with love. I'm pretty sure that's something how the scripture goes. I don't know. I have it as a screensaver. And I can't remember what it is. I remember I did this cool, I like highlighted it on the Gospel Library app. I like whited everything else around it and I like made these cool
Is that the one you sent to me?
Yes, that's what I was like.
I'll find it for you.
Yeah,
Okay.
Find that boy because it's a good one. Yeah, no, it's a great scripture. I remember reading it on my mission, and I'd tell every companion, I'm like, dude, I'm just trying to bridle my passions.
Dude, there's so much power when you can, bro.
Yes.
Jordan Peterson talks about that a lot.
Yeah.
Where he's like, just with everything going on, like, there's a lot of hate towards men today.
There are, yeah.
There's a lot of hate. And one thing I think that it's like a very controversial topic is him being able to say, like, and I'm probably going to, butcher this.
Dude, I butchered so much today. So
but where he says, like a man should be able, like, have the power to destroy stuff.
Yeah.
Like, be a monster.
Yes.
But be able to, like, bridle and control that. Yes. Like, you totally could beat somebody up.
Right.
But are you going to? Are you going to give in to that, like, primal, I can do it? No, like a true man is going to be able to like be there and like have all the power in the world to take advantage of something and like hold it back. And like be able to respect obviously women, other men, like just things in general. Because there's been a lot of times in my life where I totally could have taken advantage of somebody, like made a profit or like helped boost my own status in something. Sure. But being able to say like, I'm not going to do that because I have like my own like moral code that I'm going to hold. Like everybody has their own like set of standards, and everyone can always improve. Like the whole 1% better thing. If every person in the world was striving for that, I think we'd be in a totally different society today. I'm actually excited for the scripture.
It's Alma 38:12.
Oh, I was way.
That was close.
I got the 8
actually.
38. Okay.
And then 17. I see the 17 and the 12.
Yeah,
it's similar.
It's
close enough.
Read the scripture.
It says, use boldness, but not overbearance, and also see that ye bridle all your passions, that ye may be filled with love. See that ye refrain from idleness.
So look at that, dude. So first, refrain from idleness, right? Don't be freaking lazy. Go and grind, work hard, okay? But you got to bridle your passions. Why? So you can be filled with love.
Totally.
Use boldness. Stand up for what you believe in something, have an opinion.
Yep.
Right, but don't be overbearing.
Don't be idle.
Dude,
do something.
I think the key to life may be in that scripture. I really do. I think so. It's great.
That's a huge one.
I know. I just saw something funny. What you were just talking about, how guys nowadays and kind of they're trying to destroy like the masculine men and stuff. I think it might have been. I don't think it was Jordan Peterson, but one of those guys, him or Ben Shapiro or something. They're talking about like there's no better time for like feminism, like feminists to come out than now. Like you think all throughout history, guys are out there, they're fighting freaking bears, they're fighting lions.
Dude, yeah.
Girls are out there, they're picking berries. Like, oh, good job, hubby. Like, way to go freaking kill this lion out here, get us food. But nowadays, we're all in the same office. We're all doing this computers, and they're like, oh, we want equality.
I'll be honest. If I'm a woman, and I see my husband walking with a mountain lion that he just slaughtered with his hands, men were different back then. Like I said, might die.
I would die.
But a man like that walking up, frick, I'm thinking to myself, I love that man. He's taking care of me. But also, I don't know if I'd be able to get away. I am making that man happy. I signed up for this. I
have to love him now.
No, and obviously that's a joke.
Just to clarify.
I hope that man and that woman hypothetically have a phenomenal relationship. And it's built on love, and they can really just bridle passions.
Yeah, they can bridle passions
while
all
being
day long.
Passionate.
Amen.
But
I like that. That's the key to life right there. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Dude,
I love Jordan Peterson though.
He's a good guy.
I listen to him and I genuinely think one day.
Yeah, no, for
One
sure.
day I'll get to that point.
The best thing about him, dude, is he has like tons of flaws, Like he has a lot of mental health. One of my favorite things that he said too that brings me up, like he says that a boy, should be the strongest person at his father's funeral. Dude, that's my goal in life. My dad died when he kicks a bucket. I'm going to be the strongest person there.
Dude, I'm a crier.
I am too.
I am a huge
I kind of want to cry just thinking about that.
Same. Like, I can't imagine life without my pops.
Yeah.
Like, seriously. And so, like, I've thought about it a lot just because I've had, like, quite a bit of change and death in my family recently.
Yeah.
And so the thought, like, of me being there and being like, dude, my dad has been such, like, an influence in my life, but now I got to carry on.
Right.
Dude, that's tough.
It's tough. That's what I'm saying. If you can be the strongest man at your father's funeral.
But
dude,
in reality, it does make you ask, like, the question. Because I know for years, I do think, like, just in general, people are a lot more open about, like, emotions and things going on in their life. And like I said, I'm very big on therapy and, like, figuring out yourself and why you think the way you do. But I'm also very big on, like, traditional values where, like, dude, like, you're a guy, take care of your stuff. Like, you have a responsibility to be protector, provider, like, all these other things.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
And I definitely think that that's how God intended, like, man to be, woman to be. Like, there's certain things that we are supposed to be just because of the people that we are.
Right.
But like I think like as a person, what it really mean like to look strong at your dad's funeral might be open to argument. Because I can be there and I can know like, hey, I'm gonna be taking care of my mom. I'm gonna be taking care of my family, and I know like me just knowing who I am, I'm going to be crying a lot until I get to the point where I just can't cry anymore, and I'm just kind of in disbelief, and that's when like the whole process of the grieving process starts. But being able to say, hey, for my mom, I'm not going to like bring up certain things, or I'm not going to like make her. Like, I'm not going to put everything that I'm feeling, I'm not just going to throw that on her. I mean, that to me is strong, knowing how to like read the situation, what's going on in the moment. There's just some people that I just get so... They just don't know how to read a room.
Right.
And they'll just like, something could be going horribly wrong, and they're like, oh, well, here's this. And they just throw it out there, and I'm like, I didn't need that now. Like, you could have told me that 30 minutes earlier or tomorrow, and I would have taken that totally fine.
Right.
But, like, there are just some people that I'm like, dude, I don't think you understand. Like, now's not the right time to be talking about this.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. You'd be surprised, really. Probably not, but there's so many people that really just don't get it. Like, don't understand social cues. Don't understand. I'm like, come on, dude.
I genuinely think sometimes that is something that we are just breeding out of people.
No, I agree.
There's some things like
just some people get it and some people don't. That's something I think you're born with. I mean, I think it's a skill that people are born with.
I mean, you definitely can learn, but like at the end of the day, people have their own agency and their free will. Are they going to spend the time to learn that? I think sometimes I really just wish people could get punched in the mouth.
Oh yeah.
You know, like if it was just in America, if I punch someone in the mouth, I genuinely fear like, I hope he doesn't know who I am. I hope he can never find me again. Because he's going to sue me after what I want to do to him, you know? Yeah. But like, I'm going to bridle that, you know?
Right.
But if I could get away with it, I probably would have decked some people in the face growing up.
Yeah.
Because like, I look at them who they are now, and I'm like, dude, you totally could have used just a couple schmacks to the face.
Dude, for sure.
And so all ties into just people. I think men in general, just society has totally babied them, and just people. I mean, the way that people would learn hard lessons in the past are totally different than it is today.
Yeah.
Like if you look at the schooling system, some like the videos. Like I worked 2 summers in Chicago.
Yeah.
And some of the stuff like just the youth would do, and like people would do. I'm like, dude, this is insane. Or like California, like where you can just run in and loot stuff and take it off. I'm like, crazy. Yeah. And like the fact that like government and like people just won't stand up and take that, it pisses a lot of people off. They're like the people in power are just like, oh, we're gonna let this because they don't want the backlash of, well, what if we go too far and like this, like then their life could be fricked up. Like there's so many like good things about society today.
Yeah.
But it's totally like the fact that I can look up right now, like a lot of like famous people. I know where they're at, what they're doing, favorite color, birthday, zodiac sign, friggin' everything about these people.
Yeah.
It's kind of scary.
It really is.
It's scary, especially because how quickly you can get built up, and then how quickly you can lose it all.
Oh yeah.
So it's insane.
It's a scary thing. It's a scary culture.
And with the AI stuff now, like just the other day,
Don't get me started, dude. I'm scared.
I saw a Joe Rogan clip of him saying something like promoting like I think it was like a supplement, like a pre-workout supplement, like promoting it, but like it wasn't real. Like someone just took clips of Joe Rogan and past, and put it together and made it seem like he was doing that.
Well, I saw one today too. I saw one where because Joe Rogan, obviously, I mean, he's a neutral person. I think he's a free thinker for the most part. But I mean, he's not a big supporter of Trump. But I saw this like AI video of him speaking, or at least I could hear him speaking, saying that how he's endorsing Trump in 2024 and all this stuff, and it sounded 100% legit. And I'm like, so dude, that's nuts. Yeah, that's crazy.
I saw a video today of like it was like a little PSA video. And it was like, hey, be careful. You should have like a verbal word for your family, like a safety word.
That's smart.
Because this mom got a call.
I saw
and it was like, Mom, I'm scared. Like, just starts crying, and she's like, hey, what's going on? And then like you hear like a shove, and like a dude on the phone saying, hey, I have your daughter. You got to do this, and this. If you call the cops or do any of that, like you have 15 minutes, or like I'm gonna fill up her stomach with this, and this, do my thing
Holy
with her, and take her to
shiz.
Mexico. And, like, the mom was freaking out. Like, totally freaking out. And she's, like, on the phone, running up the stairs, and sees her daughter in her bedroom.
Oh
And
my
so, like,
gosh.
it was an AI, but she's, like, bawling, like, no, like, I'll do anything, yada, yada, yada. And then sees that and be like, let me talk to my daughter, yada, yada. And then, like, the daughter's obviously in front of her, so she knows it's a fake call. But, like, I was sitting there just thinking, like, what would I do if, like, my dad or someone else in my life, I just get a call that, like, something crazy is going on, and I need to give away this or do something. Like, frick, I'll do anything. Like, I'm totally cool with losing everything and starting over for people I care about.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm all cool with that. But the fact that, like, I hate getting taken advantage of.
Yeah.
Like, I hate hidden fees, like, with a passion. If someone advertises that the price is this, and I get there and it's $40 more, dude.
Pisses you.
I get heated on it.
Dude,
I could talk about it for a while. Taxes are hate.
Yeah.
I'm just so pissed.
Or freaking, I bought my truck. It's been a year now, but I got it. I put a pretty good down payment on it. Whatever, got it. I got finance, everything. Anyway, I've had it for a week and a half. Dealership calls me. Hey, so we're gonna have to actually ask for like $2 more grand down to get what your payment you wanted at. I'm like, I have the truck. I gave you money. Like, what do you mean you need $2 more thousand down? Like, yeah, like something we didn't do like some of the calculation right. If you want that payment, you're gonna have to bring in like $2 more grand. I'm like, whatever, okay. I was so pissed. I was so upset.
Dude, yeah,
so
that's
upset.
I don't under. I'm like, if this is the case, you fricked up. You're gonna have to bite the bullet on that.
Yeah,
like
I know it.
Yeah, hidden fees, man.
Dude, they piss me off too.
It boils my blood.
Dude,
I
makes
just
me
get
wanna
so upset
freaking-
with it.
Kick a fat kid.
Kick a fat kid at Kmart.
Kick a fat kid at Kmart, man. Oh, that's nice. I felt that. That's great.
Yeah, I mean, back in the day, I was kicking lots of kids at Kmart.
Dude, I'd go to Kmart just to kick, dude.
Yeah.
I'd bring soccer cleats right in the freaking eyes.
Doesn't matter, what weight they were.
No.
Doesn't matter if they were my weight class or not. Like, they're gonna know I was upset.
If it was an upper weight class, it was just a plus, but everyone was getting kicked.
Yeah, I mean, if that's the case, it's just a badge of honor now.
Some would say that's where you learned all your kicks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Like Kmart.
Kmart.
Kmart taught me.
Shout out Kmart.
Well, freak, we've been going for over an hour. Guys, is there anything else you guys want to say? Okay, I asked this on the last podcast I had with our friend Kenzie. I actually think I really liked it. What is your biggest piece of advice to anyone that you live by? What is something you live by?
That's a good question. I think we kind of talked about it a little bit on, like, doing what you say you're going to do. Like, right now, that's just been, like, a huge motto for me.
Okay.
Is, like, if I promise I'm going to do something, and I don't do it, that falls back on me.
Yeah.
And, like, that goes back to, like, my integrity as a person.
Okay.
And I just think that there's so much that people just in general, just like integrity and like being honest and like standing for something, you just don't see as much anymore.
Yeah.
Where people just kind of give up that, like, oh, well, I don't want to like impede on other people, so I'm just going to take like a very nonchalant view of life. Yeah. But to me, I think like we were saying, be bold, have something you're going to stand for, live like intentionally. Like, I think living with intent is something that I'm really striving to do. Yeah. Like, asking myself, okay, this is where I'm at now in my life. And I've told myself I want this, this, and this. But, like, why? Yeah. Why do I want that? Because ultimately, like, motivation's going to come and go. Yeah. But, like, being able to say that I am determined because I want this, this, and this for myself. Yes. Alex Hormozy talks about that a lot. Yeah. But, like, to me, it's just find something you're passionate about, that you're willing to do anything. When you say you're going to do it, like, hold yourself accountable, because ultimately it comes down to your own integrity. And that's something, like, I'm working on. I know for a fact I'm not perfect on it, but that's why I'm very grateful that God, he's less concerned with perfection and more concerned with intentions. Okay. Nice. And that's, like, something that I'm just trying to live by, is like, hey, I know sometimes I'm going to say I'm going to do something because, like, the hype of the environment, and I'm going to say, I'm going to do this. And I know, like, but, like, at that point, it's don't overpromise on things you're not able to. Yeah. and being able to say like, hey, I'm not gonna say I'm gonna do something, even if I'm like really hyped up, unless like I'm actually going to.
Yeah.
Like back in the day, like your handshake freaking meant everything in the world.
Yeah.
I'd love to be in a society where like that was the case. Like, hey, I said I'm gonna do this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it, because like that just elevates the whole society. You know, like.
Right.
But I would just say be intentional on what you do and like live purposefully.
Dude, I love that. That's
Amen.
great. That's great to end it. Amen to that.
Amen.
Amen. Free. All right. Guys, you heard it here. That's freaking Ethan Morley, baby. That was nice. Good podcast. Holy fruit.
I love it.
That was good.
That was a good time.
Oh, man.